Do you expect me to believe that this was the shooter? Property of Allah? You couldn't make this more obvious than it already is. You know what's interesting? Creators just like Laura Loomer decided to go on social media saying that this was an attack from Islam without the shooter's identity even being revealed yet. But then the story just doesn't add up to me. As you can see, in a tragic incident, if you didn't know, in Austin's entertainment district, a mass shooting has left 3 individuals dead, including the gunman, and 14 others injured. Shooting happened outside Buford's Background Beer Garden just before 2 a.m. along 6th Street. Like it says right here, the entertainment district has a heavy police presence on weekends, which you would obviously know about, and officers were able to confront the gunman within a minute of the first call for help. The shooter, like it says here, was identified as 53-year-old Naga Diagne. The law enforcement official and another person familiar with the matter said. Tom Bruder, a neighbor who has lived in the area since 2015, said he believed the family that lived at the house were devout Muslims. The woman who lived at the house wore a hijab, and one of the cars had window decals referencing Allah. He said, "I'm shocked that this happened here." Bruder, who served 7 years in the Navy, the family was quiet and seemed nice. They seemed like a normal American family living in the suburbs. But of course, FBI official Alex Doran said at a Sunday morning press briefing that while it's way too early to determine motivation, evidence found on the shooter and in his vehicle indicate a possible link to extremism. Okay, so show what was inside of the vehicle, because I'm hearing a lot of different reports. Hey, who doesn't love pointing the finger at Iran, right? It's almost like people don't know what psychological warfare is by now and how easily it can be used to manipulate you. Sort of like, I don't know, supporting another useless war that we shouldn't be a part of to begin with.
The mass shooting that recently happened in Austin, Texas a few days ago was an inside job, and let me explain why. So first of all, the mass shooter wore a Property of Allah hoodie and had a Quran in his car. Now, those two pieces of evidence seem a little like too good to be true and like too obvious for me, right? Like, of course, out of all things that guy could wear or have in his car, it was those two. A couple days after we decided to bomb the shit out of Iran. Like, come on. On top of that, one thing I found very interesting is that he wore an Iranian t-shirt. I don't know if it was Iranian flag or whatever, but he was wearing an Iranian t-shirt underneath his Property of Allah hoodie. Like, of course. What's really interesting, though, is if you do a little bit of research or you already know kind of like what Islam's like, Iran is a Shia Muslim country, and Senegal, where the mass shooter is from, is a Sunni Muslim country. Sunnis, Shias don't get along, don't like each other, hate each other, kill each other all the time. So why would a Senegal native guy wear a pro-Iran t-shirt? Doesn't make sense because those countries don't like each other. So we have the Quran, the too obvious hoodie, and a t-shirt that it doesn't even make sense for him to wear. That's a little weird to me. On top of that, this other piece of evidence I found, and I did my own research on because I wanted to double check its accuracy, because a lot of stuff nowadays can be deepfakes, AIs, bullshit, or whatever, just to gain, clicks and traction on people's posts. But I used Google Trends to see if the mass shooter was looked up in different places over the past 90 days and 12 months, and this is what I found. So we'll start with Israel. There's the mass shooter's name right there. I put in Israel past 12 months. He was researched over 100 times in Israel between July and August of 2025. So months ago. That's really weird, right? That doesn't make sense to me. Now let's swap over to Washington, D.C. Past 90 days. Mass shooter's name 77 times in December 27th of 2025. A few months ago, right? Can anyone explain how that makes sense?
We talking about the devil the Bible speaks of. Believe that shit. He's the devil, man. Full of witchcraft and robbery and deceit.
Now, President Trump has repeated his threats this morning to...
Salakia, you see, this motherfucker's the devil, man. Full of witchcraft and deceit, manipulation. A hypocrite, you see? Let's continue. Let's continue with the lesson. Then I'll get some scriptures and shut it down. You see, shit not adding up, is it, man? I mean, you name it, man. These motherfuckers are MK Ultra. You see, yeah, you got people that's MK Ultra. Oh yeah, it's gonna be universal soldiers, sleeper cells. It's gonna be so chaotic. You see, I mean, enormously, man, abundantly, man, tremendously, man. Something this wicked, corrupt ass society never seen. You see.
Donald Trump is panicking as Iran has rejected his ceasefire offer. Donald Trump apparently only prepared for a 4 to 5 day war against Iran, and he assumed that if the United States were to kill the Ayatollah Khomeini, that Iran would immediately want a ceasefire, and that Donald Trump would be able to declare a victory, and that war would not spread throughout the region. Donald Trump was warned that his personal views that that's what would take place were wrong, and he was indeed wrong. Hat tip to Ynet. They were the first to report, and they're based out of Israel, that Donald Trump is now begging Iran for a ceasefire, and Iran immediately rejected it and said when there will not be a ceasefire will be on our terms. And now one of the major issues the United States is facing is, will we be running out of munitions?
And they're gonna constantly acknowledge no ceasefire. You see, because the Heavenly Father, he putting a spirit on them. He putting a spirit on these heathen devils to come up against Mr. White Man. You see, we blowing the trumpet, man. The battle has began. You see, the battle has began. Yes, the battle has begun. You see, and it's not going to de-escalate. It's only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse from here on out. You see, the battle has begun. This is Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Hold on. Just hold on. Hold on tight. Hold on. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and 7. You see, verse 3, because this is what the Heavenly Father will manifest. You see, Deuteronomy 30 and 3. And then I get verse 7. You see, this book of Moses, Deuteronomy chapter 30. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and 3. That then the Lord Yahweh, thy power, will turn thy captivity. And that's what he doing right now, man. You see, hell yeah, man. He about to free us, bro. Our punishment is up. You see, this is the reason why that war is spreading. You see? Hell yeah, man. Word up, man. Real talk, man. You on your dig? You know what I mean? You see? Hell yeah, man. This is sensational. Wonderful, man. Fantastical. You see? Our captivity is at its end. You see? Deuteronomy 30 and 3. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and 3. That then the Lord Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity, you see, and he gonna put these Edomites, so-called white people, all these 17 heathen nations, he gonna put their bitch ass in shackles and chains. No mercy, no mercy for these fucking demon devils. You see what they did to us, man. They must pay. They gotta pay, man. And it's coming any given day. You see, you know what I mean? And have compassion upon thee. Ooh, he not talking about heathen devils, man. He talking about the Israelites. We suffering. You see, you on your dig. You know what I mean? You see, yeah, he's gonna have compassion and mercy and grace and forgiveness for his people. You see, that's not talking about Edomites, heathen devils. He not talking about them wicked ass motherfuckers. He talking about the Israelites. The Heavenly Father, he put us in captivity. You see, as a slave under these fucking crackers, man, these hunkies, these peckerwoods that don't give a fuck about you niggas. That's why your bitch ass over there in Dubai, Kuwait, you see, over there in Asia, getting your ass blown the fuck up, man. That's not the Middle East. That's Asia. You see, and that's what Armageddon is going to take off, man. At a moment's notice. We hope and pray that shit be at full scale this year, if you will. You see, you know what I mean? Deuteronomy 30:3. Deuteronomy chapter 30:3. That then the Lord Yahweh, thy power will turn thy captivity, which is what he doing right now, man. You see, the curses are vanishing little by little, man. Yeah, it's coming up on these heathen devils, man. Why these heathens getting fucked up so much? Exactly. You understand? You see? See? You know what I mean? Our captivity is up, bro. He about to deliver us. He about to save us, bro. You see? And we believe that, man. We believe in the only true living power, the Most High God of Israel, Yahweh Wah, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. You see? And his son. He's coming to get us, man. Believe, brothers, believe. You see? You know what I mean? And have compassion upon thee. You see? And will return and gather thee from all the nations. See? We under all these nations, man. Because the Israelites are scattered. You understand? You see? You know what I mean? He gonna gather us up, man. I told you, man. He gonna deliver us in that day. You see? We just gotta be patient, man. And wait. Gotta keep the faith and be patient. You see? And remain hopeful. Lord willing that we are of that number. His chosen. You see? You know what I mean? Because we want his grace, his forgiveness, his mercy every single day. We want to make it out of Babylon the Great. You see? You know what I mean? We don't want to get caught up with the death, terror, and destruction. That's what's coming. You see? Whether the Lord Yahweh, thy power, have scattered thee. See? You see? All right, verse 7. That's right, man. Like I said, man, we scatter among the 17 heathen nations. You understand? You see? Deuteronomy 30:7. Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. You see? Deuteronomy chapter 30:7. And the Lord Yahweh, thy power, will put all these curses upon thy enemies. See? That's why they bitch ass getting blown the fuck up, man. But they can't see. They don't have no foresight. No type of insight. They ain't got no power. You see, they ain't got no God that's going to save them, man. The Heavenly Father created heathen devils to burn their ass up, man. Especially so-called white people. You see, these evil, wicked, demonic ass crackers, man. These honkies, these peckerwoods, they ass going to get fucked up. You see, the Heavenly Father created red Hebrew Edomites to burn their ass up and blow their bitch ass up. You see? Yeah. That go for you too, nigga woman. Your bitch ass ain't gonna make it. Bitch, you hate the men of your nation. You see? Bitch, you kill our babies. You ain't down with us. Bitch, you don't love us. That's why your ass gonna get fucked up. You see? You're gonna fall with the devil the Bible speaks of, the so-called black woman, and dusty, crusty ass, wicked ass, evil ass niggas. You motherfucking niggas. You wicked, evil nigglets. You evil, wicked nigglets. Especially so-called black woman. You see, bitch, you gonna fall with these vipers, these cobras, these pythons, these serpents, since you love your devil daddy dick and balls so goddamn much. You see, you know what I mean? And the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses up on thy enemies. You see? See? This is the reason why they ass getting fucked up over there in Iran, man. Iran, they not gonna let up. The Heavenly Father using them. You see? You know what I mean? And on them that hate thee. That's the key. That's the point. See? These Edomites, they hate niggas, man. They hate you niggas, bro. See? If the Heavenly Father put us in this goddamn condition, what you think he gonna do to these Edomites, so-called white people that never got judged, that hate you niggas? Didn't I say that shit, man? You see? You know what I mean? And on them that hate thee, you see, which persecuted thee. Exactly, man. Getting Willie lynched, Jim Crow, believe that shit. You see? Getting redlined. I mean, you name it, man. All kind of sorts of things. You see? And now these devils, man, these crackers, these hunkies, these peckerwoods, they are scared straight. You see? Fuck this evil, wicked ass place, man. We want to see death and terror and destruction upon Babylon the Great. You see? We want to see this place collapse, man. Any given second. You see? Yeah, any given second. You see? We want to see this place fall, man. We want to see a economical catastrophe. You see? The plagues, the pestilence, the sickness, the evilness, the darkness. You see? Nothing but wickedness. That's what's coming to this filthy, nasty, demonic ass place. You see? This place is very polluted, man. Fuck Babylon the Great. You see? It ain't no wholesome, delightful, good women. They don't have no type of morals, no type of integrity, no type of dignity. You see? No type of dignity, no type of integrity, no morals at all, bro. They don't give a fuck about nothing. They very selfish and self-centered. These wicked ass witchy poo bitches, broomstick bitches. You see? Fuck you Babylonians, you evil ass Egyptians, man. We can't wait, man. In that day, you see? Yes, yes. This place must be destroyed, man. Babylon the Great, Sodom of Egypt, modern day Sodom Gomorrah, that great whore, you see, will be destroyed by thermal nuclear destruction. Hydrogen, hypersonic ICBM missiles. You see, them flying fiery serpents, motherfucker. But you stupid ass niggas, you ain't paying attention. You see? Hell yeah, man. It's gonna be so chaotic, man. We talking about a purge, blackouts, a EMP, you name it, man. Universal soldiers around this motherfucker, causing chaos. You see? Sleeper cells, you name it, man. Up wars, silver wars. You see? The Heavenly Father, he about to put in work. He about to put in work on you demon, demonic ass motherfuckers. You see? So be vigilant, brothers, and remain alert with some awareness, man. Keep your head on swivel. You understand? You see? See how this devil be on that bullshit, man? Now it's acting like my shit don't want to play. The fuck, bro? That's some bullshit. You see? God damn.
Do we have the capabilities for a long-term war if this drags out for many, many months? And in addition, we've learned some horrific news this morning that a number of our soldiers, a number of U.S. service members, have indeed been killed in action during the war already. We've learned that there have been, so far, 3 U.S. service members killed in action. 5 have been seriously wounded so far during Operation Epic Fury, is what the Trump regime is calling it. We're referring to it at the Midas Touch Network as Operation Epstein Fury, or the Jeffrey Epstein War. The U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, announced the deaths of these 3 U.S. service members. 5 are seriously wounded. We're following that. We're expecting, sadly, the number of deaths to increase. These casualties, as Open Source Intelligence Defender also notes, these casualties are likely the result of Iranian ballistic missiles and one-way attack drones that have been striking U.S. bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates, with some bases suffering much more serious damage than had been previously reported or announced by CENTCOM. Indeed, our government is giving false information saying that the attacks have not been serious against our bases, only for us to learn later that they are indeed very, very serious. And now our service members have been killed, and Donald Trump has blood on his hands, and this whole regime in the United States has blood on their hands. Iranian's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, he is alive, and he's stating this morning on state-run television that the Interim Leadership Council is now operational and has assumed constitutional control of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Pezeshkian adds that we will continue the path of the leader with strength. Our armed forces are crushing the bases of enemies. No sign by Iran that they will be stopping their retaliatory actions against U.S. bases and U.S.
And that's the key. You see, he said it's no slowing down. You understand? When it comes to Iran, you see, Iran, they just stated it's no signs of slowing down, man. They fed the fuck up at Mr. White Man, Mr. Paleface. You see, fuck these evil, wicked ass crackers, man. Yo, devil daddy, yo, slave master. You see, these motherfuckers going down, man. It's a suicide, man. It's a suicide going over there, man. You understand? You see, we talking about Armageddon, the last war of all wars. Exactly. You see, you under your dig, you know what I mean? You Babylonians, man, you motherfuckers in trouble, man. You don't see what's up ahead. You see?
If you go back to 9/11, and when Wesley Clark said we're gonna invade 7 countries in 5 years, what you were talking about were the countries where those central banks were not on board to do programmable money. And their governance structures were not on board with essentially, because of Epstein, I'll call it the Rockefeller Rothschild model. There was an effort to say, okay, we're going to basically assert control of the central banks in those countries. That's my interpretation. And I think one of the reasons we're seeing so much tension around Iran is because Iran right now is the big leakage in the system.
How?
So
It's not about their nukes?
No. So,
Yeah, because Iran, they don't have a central banking system. You heard what she said, Rockefeller, Rothschild. You understand? You see, Nick Rockefeller, he at the top of the list, and his nephew, Nathaniel Rothschild. You see? Yeah, Nick Rockefeller and Nathaniel Rothschild, those 2 motherfuckers are the head top guys. You see, they trying to set up the 4th industrial revolution, which is digital currency, a CBDC. And they gonna use manipulation. Like I said, this devil is a hypocrite. You understand? You see, everything this lady acknowledging, man. And I believe she's an insider. You understand? You see, I noticed something, man. People that come out with, you know, some truth, whatever they want to call it. You see, conspiracy theory. No, it's not no conspiracy theory. You see, or however, whatever you want to call it or acknowledge. I mean, whatever the case may be. You see, like I said, some of these people that's coming out with some truth. You see, a lot of them getting knocked off, man, enormously, abundantly, tremendously. You see. Because they know what's coming, man. Great hell. This devil is about hell and terror and destruction. Let's get that in the book of Habakkuk. You see, he don't give a fuck about nothing, man. He don't even give a fuck about his own people, man. The Heavenly Father got your devil daddy, Mr. White Man, in a trick bag. You understand? You see? We'll close out, man. It's the book of Habakkuk. I think it's Habakkuk 2 and 7. Let's see. You know what I mean? You on your dig. You see. It's the book of Habakkuk 2, and I just want to get straight to the point. This is Habakkuk 2. And 7. You see Habakkuk chapter 2 and 7. Habakkuk 2 and 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? See? And the Heavenly Father, he dealing with Esau Edom. He's the whooping stick. Believe that shit, you see? And he gonna bite you motherfuckers, man. Could you trust the devil the Bible speaks of? Did you see that shit? You see, we don't trust Esau Edom. We depend on his son. You see? Hamashiach. Right. You see?
Yeah. I saw him last night.
We don't rely and depend on Esau Edom. You see? See, a lot of you jokers, you gonna get caught off guard, man. You're not paying attention. You're not taking heed. You see? This demon devil, he gonna bite your bitch ass like a viper, a cobra, a python, a serpent. That's what the fuck he is. He's a snake, motherfucker. This what Habakkuk trying to say. You see? Stupid motherfuckers, man. Dumb and stupid and crazy. Dumbass Egyptians. Wicked ass Babylonians. You see? That fail to visualize and recognize and look alive. What's up ahead, man? What's coming down the pipeline? You understand? See, you see, Habakkuk 2 and 7, Habakkuk 2 and 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? You see? And we can't wait, man. We can't wait. We tired of this motherfucking filthy, nasty, disgusting ass place, Babylon the Great. You see? We want to see this fucking demon devil destroyed, man. The devil the Bible speaks of, your slave master, your oppressor. You understand? You see? And it's coming, man. It's coming, man. The Heavenly Father got his bitch ass in the trick bag. You see? You know what I mean? Habakkuk 2 and 7. Habakkuk chapter 2 and 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly? That shall bite thee. That's the key. You see? These devils, they gonna bite you, motherfuckers. He gonna turn on his own people. The Heavenly Father gonna lift his ass up suddenly to show his power and bring his bitch ass down. Down to the ground. You see? You know what I mean? You see? And awake that shall vex thee. Hell yeah, man. We woe the fuck out, bro. You know what I mean? You see, but we very grateful and thankful. The Heavenly Father got us awake. You see? Yeah. When it comes to this great, great, great gospel, man, the Heavenly Father, he got us awake. You dig? You know what I mean? You see? We not sleepy niggas and sleepy nigga women bitches like we once was before, right? Exactly. We awake. Awakening. It's a great awakening occurring. You see? And we don't have no shame, no disgrace, man. We don't give a fuck about what none of you motherfuckers have to say. You see? And awake. That shall vex thee. Hell yeah, man. Tremendously, enormously, abundantly, extremely vexed. We woe the fuck out, man. We tired as hell, exhausted. Believe that. You see, because all the madness, the sickness, the wickedness. You see, transformers, nothing but devils, brute beasts, heathen devils. You see, dusty, crusty ass, devilish, wicked ass niggas. Funk box, funky, bloody, stinking pussy ass nigga women bitches that don't take baths, that wear pants 365 days a year. We are extremely vexed. You see? You know what I mean? And awake that shall vex thee. You see? And thou shall be for booties unto them. See? Woo! This devil gonna get so angry. He gonna have his way with you motherfuckers. He gonna throw your bitch ass in FEMA camps, detention centers, concentration camps. Right now it's on low level. Look at ICE. Exactly. Raping the fuck out you Latino bitches. See? You gonna be a booty, bitch. You gonna be a booty. Your devil daddy, he gonna have his way with your ass in them FEMA camps. See? It ain't my fault you ain't got no foresight, man. We know what this devil up to. We just watching. With some awareness. What about you? You see? See? Nothing but hell is coming, man. You understand? You see, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Habakkuk chapter 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, exactly. His philosophies, his way of thinking. Yeah, his manipulation, his Christian insanity. You see, his way of thinking, his spiritual fornication and spiritual wickedness and adulteries. See, his wines will lead to destruction, man. That's why it's very important to turn back to the Heavenly Father. You understand? You see, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Habakkuk 2 and 5. You on your dig, you know what I mean? Habakkuk 2 and 5. Close out. Habakkuk chapter 2 and 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, you see, he is a proud man, your devil daddy, Mr. White Man. Very proud. You understand? You see, your slave master, your modern day Pharaoh, Donald Trump. You understand? You see? You know what I mean? He's not going to let up. He's a liar, man. A hypocrite. A demon devil. Believe that shit. You see? You know what I mean? Neither keepeth at home who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. See? Told you. He's all about hell, destruction, terror, and death. Esau, Edom, Mr. White Man, he's the king of death and hell and terror. You see? You know what I mean? and cannot be satisfied. You see? Why you think he stealing every goddamn thing, man? Trying to colonize other people's lands and countries and take people resources and supplies. He can't be satisfied. You see? You know what I mean? But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Exactly. The main objective is the MOTB, the mark of the beast. What this lady talking about. With what's this dude name? Forgot his name. Tucker. I forgot his first name. You see? That's what it's all about, man. They want to try to establish and fulfill and accomplish the MOTB, if you will. You see? His fourth industrial revolution, beast-ass NWO Red Dragon system, if you will. See? See? That shit is coming fast, man, at a twinkle of an eye, man. You understand? You see? I wasn't trying to be that long, man, but it is what it is, man. You know, you got nosy, rosy ass motherfuckers. You see? They want to worry about what you do, how you do, what you do, when you do, how you do. What about you? You need to be working on your salvation. You see? Because this place about to collapse, man. This place about to crumble. By the minute, by the second, by the day, by the hour. Babylon the Great is becoming crippled and brittle. You see? I like to say, call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All praise, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Kwam Yasharala, Prince of Power, yeah, Jerusalem, we up. Yeah, Jerusalem, we up. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All praise, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Call Halal, call Halal, call Elohim, call Elohim, call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All praise, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Shouts out Israelite foreigners. Specular birds, you strangers that look like a Mr. Paleface, that look like an Edomite, that look like a red Hebrew Edomite. Peace and love to you, peace and love to you. Israelite foreigners, specular birds, you strangers that look like a Mr. Paleface, that look like an Edomite, that look like a red Hebrew Edomite. Peace and love to you, peace and love to you. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All praise Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom, shalom, shalom to the 144,000, the elect, the women and men, children that's going to make it to the kingdom. The honors, apostles, the elders, and watchmen, and servants, and prophets, a great millstone. Who I learned this truth from only through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All praise to Mashiach Yahushai. And Lord willing, you brothers and sisters was edified. And so on to the next one. Shalom. See this bullshit, bro? This shit I be talking about, man. Fuck, my shit won't even play, bro. Some stupid ass dumb shit, bro. Real talk, man. My shit should play.
You know, Iran's central bank counts. One of the reasons it counts is because their oil and energy is very important, including for China. Yeah. And that's very important in the BRIC system. What the BRIC system is trying to do is to create independent payment systems. But if you're going to come out with programmable money, with digital IDs that are interoperable globally, and programmable money that controls in each jurisdiction centrally, you can't afford leakage. And so you've got way too much leakage in the system to proceed with what they're trying to do. And Iran is, and the BRIC nations are a sticking point. And certainly Iran's oil, you know, feeding China gives China greater independence.
So you think that one of the motives behind toppling all these governments was the creation of the control grid we're talking about now?
Right. So if you go back, so you had the wonderful Richard Warner on your show, yeah. And Richard has a book called The Princes of the Yen. which is about the sort of effort to take over the Japanese central bank. And I think what you're looking at, I think part of the state of play with both Russia and Iran is how are you going to make sure that those central banks are entirely in the system?
So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper. He said, I just got this down from upstairs in the Secretary of Defense's office today. And he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran. I said, is it classified? He said, yes, sir.
And this the plan. You understand? I told you. You see, by the super elites, the head top guys, this they won't, because they ain't got no central banking system in Iran. You see? Yeah. Nick Rockefeller and Nathaniel Rothschild, this what they want, man. They want one rulership under red Hebrew Edomite supremacy. You see? One digital currency, one religion under Satanism. That's what it's all about, man. But they're not going to achieve it. You see? They're going to fail. They're going to fail. These Edomites, so-called white people, they are scared straight, petrified, terrified. Your devil daddy, Mr. Paleface. You see? So-called white people, these Peckerwoods, these crackers, these honkies, these motherfuckers are frightened to death, petrified and terrified. You see? I gotta figure out why my phone doing that bullshit, man. It's freezing like that, man. It's all good. It's nothing but the devil. Let's continue. You see?
The tsunami of a lifetime is coming, and nothing your elders have seen is going to prepare. There's no good advice to give that's specific. Let's put it this way. One of the things people tell me about their moving from one city to another, I have a phrase that nobody likes, which is every place is over. Austin, yeah, it's over. Miami, it's over. Nashville, over. All these places are over. And every occupation that is named is over. I'm going to be a dentist, radiologist, accountant, teacher. These are all over. Whatever's coming, get flexible, get good. Get good on a bunch of different stuff. Learn how to think across disciplines. I have no idea what's going to be left for us. Nobody really wants to buy our debt. And the real danger at this point is that the Chinese, who have been, in a measured way, shedding our debt, in other words, offloading treasuries, they could suddenly accelerate that with terrible consequences for us. They're not the only ones. We look at Japan. That's a good example of what could happen to us. I think Luke Roman is right. I don't think there are any easy answers, but you need a government that is led by people, first of all, recognize the problem, understand there's no quick fix, and secondly, are prepared to tell the truth. Because the American people haven't heard the truth for a long time. They really haven't. And most Americans think, oh, everything's fine. As long as I can buy a 6-pack of beer, put it on the back of my bike, or throw it in the trunk of my truck, go home, watch the game on Monday nights, pick up a burger, what's the problem? Well, that's the beauty of fake money. When you don't have sound money, you just print and you print and you print. But in the meantime, the house that was you paid $11,000 for in 1970 now is $50,000. The car is now 20 times more expensive. All these problems are hitting, so people are beginning to feel it, but not to the point where they're ready to go into the streets with pitchforks and torches. That's coming. And they're going to need answers. They're going to want answers. They're going to want a government that responds. That's one of the reasons that FDR did many of the things he did, even though at the time it wasn't clear that it would work. He said people have to believe that we care. They have to see action. Well, this time around it's going to be even tougher. And I don't have any easy answer, but what we've been doing with these tariffs is hitting a lot of friends over the head, and it hasn't helped us very much.
Bond buyers, the people who lend money to the U.S. government, are demanding more compensation. They're pricing in risk. What risk? The risk that the U.S. cannot service its debt. The risk that inflation returns. The risk that the dollar loses value. When bond buyers lose confidence, they demand higher yields. They require more interest to offset the risk of holding U.S. debt. And right now, that loss of confidence is visible. The bond market is telling you something the Fed won't admit. The U.S. fiscal situation is unsustainable. And cutting rates doesn't fix it. It makes it worse. Because lower rates encourage more borrowing, more spending, larger deficits. And bond buyers see the spiral. They see the $36 trillion debt growing $2 trillion per year. They see unfunded liabilities exceeding $100 trillion. They see a government that cannot cut spending and cannot raise taxes enough to close the gap. So they demand higher yields. And when yields rise, debt service costs rise, which increases the deficit, which requires more borrowing, which demands even higher yields. It's a feedback loop, and it's accelerating. Signal 2, collapsing foreign demand for U.S. treasuries. For decades, the U.S. relied on foreign buyers to finance its debt. China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, the Gulf states, they bought treasuries. They recycled trade surpluses into U.S. bonds. This system worked because the dollar was the reserve currency. Everyone needed dollars for trade. So they held treasuries as reserves. But that's ending. China's treasury holdings peaked at $1.3 trillion in 2013. Today they're at $780 billion. That's a 40% reduction. They're dumping. Japan, the largest foreign holder, has $1.1 trillion in treasuries. But they're not adding. They've been flat for 3 years. And with the yen weakening, with the Bank of Japan intervening to defend the currency, Japan is selling treasuries to raise dollars. They're not a reliable buyer anymore. Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states used to recycle oil revenues into treasuries, petrodollar recycling. But oil is now traded in yuan, in rupees, in other currencies. The petrodollar system is fracturing, and Gulf states are diversifying. They're buying gold, real estate, infrastructure, not treasuries.
Right, because the U.S. dollar is not backed up by nothing. You see, President Nixon, he withdrew the gold from the dollar, I believe in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. You see? And that's the key. It ain't backed by nothing. The worthless green paper, you stupid ass Babylonians, are sleepy niggas and sleepy nigga women bitches. You see? Sleepy dumb ass Babylonians, man. You motherfuckers in for a rude awakening. Especially stinking ass, sedity, dingy, ditzy ass bitches. You see? Very proud, just like your devil daddy. Didn't I read it? A proud man. Where you learned it from? You understand? You see, you learned it from Esau, Edom. You see, your oppressor, your slave master. You motherfuckers gonna catch it at a moment's notice. You under your dig, you know what I mean? You see,